Hi guys, today is a new format and I am doing a podcast today about 10 keys. 10 keys to survive Matrix. But not only to survive, that to understand who you are in Matrix and to thrive in this. Um, to not only suffer and be in pain and being in corners and not understanding where are you going, why are you doing everything, why things are happening to you, and to why can you not realize yourself, why can't you be who you are, who you are, and then to have a um, beautiful relationship, money, freedom to be who you are, to be healthy, to feel energetic, to move, to travel, to do things that you want to do, and how much misery we have in this world right now. And I have lived and experienced many crises in my life, and I at age of 49 there is a lot of wisdom, and I've tried many traditions, many directions in order for me to discover more authentic me and be able to summarize and synthesize all that knowledge and give this to you in podcasts. And to me, it gives me a great pleasure because through podcasts, it's like it's like having a child. I'm learning the world again. And these 10 keys that I'm gonna present to you, it's a very, very, very deep and valuable information that I wished I had before I started life. Because when we are born, we don't have instructions. Our first years are automatic, basic functioning, governed by our parents, and then family, society takes over, country, and that's it. Then you create your family, and that is kind of the same functions kind of transcribed, and then you find yourself in some really strange situations, or your health goes down, or you lose job, or you lose money, or you completely lose who you are. You're in depression and you don't know where you're going and why everything is like this, the way it is. There's a lot of confusion, there is a lot of pain and discomfort on the level of the soul that nothing can touch that. And I've been in that place. There are twice at least I was on the edge of being a suicide. I was there. There's nothing in when you stare in that abyss, that it's a black hole. It's a black hole that there is nothing that you can put in there that can satisfy. I've experienced these holes throughout my life. When I was working in the hospital, my feeling was, is that all to life? Like going to work and doing automatic things? It became boring, it became automatic, it became, even though it provided me for my life, I had like all the things that you'd be happy to have in the system, and many didn't understand why I was going crazy and what I was even talking about. And then only when the relationship fell apart, and then kind of it was in the same cycle, and this betrayal happened, and then alcoholic ex-husband, and not able to have children, and then oncology, and depression, those things, those crises in a foreign country, learning the language, finding a new job again, brought me into different realities, different realms, different pathways. And I've experienced, I believe everything that there is to experience in this matrix, that what is given to you, all the traps, all the things that I could experience. And I've done esoteric path, yoga and meditation, and Kabbalah and whatever, everything. I have studied many things, and I've experienced through my body different practices, and yet nothing. Working as a nurse in the hospital, having money, house, stable job, stability, right? Traveling. I travel the world. I've seen people. I've talked to many people, cultures, and yet somehow I've lived in. I was born in Russia and lived in U.S. and I moved to France and Guatemala and Mexico. Now I'm living in Mexico, and it's until I found myself and was comfortable in this body that stopped struggling with pain, with misery, with depression, with these ups and downs, and I found stability inside through me, and I discovered my true self, like me. Nobody else is like me. However, what I also discovered through this is that the more I put inside me, the more information I receive, and there is some kind of files unfold, and this information brings me kind of a zoom out perspective on the life itself. And this is when I started doing podcasts, because there is so much information and so much knowing and knowledge about this reality that we call life, which is a simulator. It's a simulator made through algorithm, through programming. It's hard to grasp because we have analogy of that. We already have the analogy of computer gaming and open AIs. You understand programming. Now we have the language, we have terminology, and we can explain that. Before we didn't have. So we were, the people were using mostly esoteric language, God, religious terminology. But now we are coming out of that era because we have a more true terminology to explain the simulated, the reality, the world itself is it's a mental law of universal law of this reality, of the reality itself, of God that explains everything, is mental capacity, is mentalization. Mental meaning programming, it's algorithms. So when I realized that I am a program, I'm algorithms, I'm following algorithms, which we call consciousness or higher consciousness, and then there is an avatar. So there is a consciousness inside the avatar, and avatar has its own algorithm, and it's a bioelectrical capacity to be formed and operated by my consciousness, by me, by consciousness. And it's like operating a car without actually driving it. But I needed to learn that this model of the car. What does it need? That if I leave it on the outside on the street, it's not gonna do well. It needs food. It needs a good food. It needs a good care. It needs some shelter. It needs love and care. And if I don't provide that, it kind of things deteriorate. No, then we have disease. Then we have some problems. We can't operate this machine, and it's very unique. And the more you learn about the avatar, the more exciting it becomes, because not even I went through medical field and we never understood avatar on that level. It's not taught in the system about that. And only through connecting with my consciousness and having the outer perspective, I could understand that this is an avatar. Just like a movie Avatar, like watch it, you understand it, it's written for you to it's every sci-fi is a documentary. So I understood that this form is an avatar, is biological, electrical, programmable car that I drive. And then the question was, okay, so who am I that's driving that, and how does that program works, and how the programs of this avatar works, and who created this avatar, and who created this reality that we call life and we all interact. And it's these realities seem to be different, because we can two of us we can experience the same reality, exactly the same reality at the same time in the same space, and yet we'll have different recollections. When men and women, I had a podcast about men and women, we communicate. It's two different realities, two different universes. And to me, I needed to understand how the relationship works, why the biological avatar of a woman is different than a man. And my biggest factor was my health, and then second was relationship, and now third one is the money, realization that you need, and then the fourth one was energy. And it exploded in this consequence that I needed to understand what are the rules, how to operate this reality, why when I do something it's the result is opposite, or when I consciously focus onto something, then I have a different result. There's sometimes magic, and I'm like, oh, how does the magic work? Sometimes I think about it and it's here next day. How does it work? It's magic, but how does the magic work? Okay, so then I started to explore quantum fields and astral realms. I started to dive into mystery of life, and this is what the best way to express is that it's a simulated reality on material level, and the most material kind of very interesting reality that you can touch with through your avatar. You have ability to smell, you have ability to see and to hear, just like the phones. Remember, we didn't have the phones. Now we can, even very close applications, gonna be able to send you the smell, to send you the touch. These are applications, these are algorithms. So it's the human body is very intellectual, very intelligent, very programmable, and most of our lives here in Matrix, when you are asleep, all programs are automatic. Everything is automatic. You learn things automatically. The problem would be okay if you didn't experience pain and some form of crisis. then you would be still asleep and you'd be enjoying this reality. And in fact, the first matrix was exactly built like this, and nobody was learning anything. And so the main architects of this matrix decided to add a intuition or intuitive program, which is called our subconscious, our dark matter. And this dark matter created duality. It's also created duality, and it's also created this learning field through which we can evolve and we can learn and we can connect and interact. So on that level, when you wake up and you have this prospect and you're not killing yourself, beating yourself up against a concrete wall like I did for many years, and only now at the age of 48, 49, I'm finally feeling that freedom. Although I'm still in the game, I'm still in the simulator, in the draw up an animated reality, just like you see a movie, just like you see me on the screen. It's the same thing. And it's a code. It's numbers. It's algorithmic. It's very algorithmic. And so my health is also algorithmic. But I needed to understand through my oncology, through my painful periods, through my depression, I started to understand that, hey, wait a minute, we have codes, we have genetic codes. This is now what now we getting into this testing, right? So there is a genetic codes or codes algorithms of your avatar, and there are codes of your consciousness, and these two collide inside the physical body and create create this discomfort or war, battle, and you feel that, and that's what propels you, and that's what creates disharmony and disease. But it also is a motivating factor for waking up your consciousness. So your consciousness battling for the space inside your avatar, and the avatar basic programming are trying to not to fit, not to invite your consciousness inside the body, because it's a foreign material for the physical, for this physical body, for this avatar. So we have a lot of, because for example, you have to remember that like me as consciousness, I've had different experiences in different matrices. We call it planets, we call it some different star seeds and all this. It's just names of different realities, of different programs, of different matrices that exist, and they're unlimited. And so when I've experienced these different realities, my consciousness has all these codes, because I've lived through whatever avatar I had. I lived through. I was probably maybe a green monkey. I don't know. It could anything. I could be anything. And for these files to unpack, I need to bring this consciousness and fit into this physical body, this reality. And it's tough. It's tough because there's constant battlefield, because consciousness is many sides, and physical body is 3D. So it's trying to fit like, I don't know, a planet inside a tiny present box. It doesn't, it's hard. And so it needs to stretch and stretch and stretch. So anyway, back to 10 keys. So during these explorations and this life and re-experiencing into the body, and understanding that there are automatic algorithm, and there is higher algorithms programming of my consciousness, and there is a super consciousness, oh my God, which we call God. And this energy is an informational field. So when you have pain, that is huge energy trying to pass through you, but there is a block somewhere. There's a resistance in the line, in the electrical line, and so that's why you feel pain. So when I allowed to feel the pain, to feel the stretch, and eventually the information was started to flow, then the files were opening up, and there are many files and information that I have like a computer, and you can just ask me and I can give you an answer. But for that, I need a lot of energy to unpack even one file. And so I needed to understand, okay, so if I need an answer to this question and to remember, for example, what planets I was, who I was, and all these things, whatever I need to know, that was present matter for me. I needed to find the resource. I needed to find the energy for that, because you need energy. Avatar has a build-up energy, and to operate, even to wake up and to go to sleep, you need energy. How does it work? How do your hormones work? Digestion. Even to poop, you need energy. So you need energy for a lot of things. And your body, you don't plug yourself anywhere in, no, unless you have sex. And but the avatar is already built in with some energy, battery life, usually, right? 70-80 years old. And then after that, you understand that there is less and less energy and less motivating factors to go and do something. So you have less energy. And for me, at the age of 49, I've experienced different things, and I've tried to exercise and yoga and meditation, and still it was not giving me any energy at all. Nothing. I had less energy. I have more energy now than I was when I was 20, when I was 30, and when I was exercising or doing yoga and meditation. I have more energy right now because I'm more authentic, and I have me fit into this physical body, present and connecting higher and higher and more to the source, to the super consciousness. So that's where the energy is coming from, and it's unlimited, and I feel it every day. I feel more energized and more energized. And the way it works, and now I'm gonna cover that and give you 10 keys, guys. 10 keys. It's like distilled wisdom for you to be happy, to understand, to play this game, to rewrite your codes, to have relationship that you want, to be to enjoy this life, to have sex or not to have sex, whatever you want to manifest things. Manifestation doesn't work here. Manifestation is a coding, and you need to understand the rules and laws. You need to be a coder. How do you become a coder? Nobody teach you that. There are no schools. So there are a lot of traps, and there are many things that things can go wrong, and they can fuck you over in any corner of this life. And here I am. I'm gonna give you 10 keys so you can play this game. And there are 10 levels to play of this game. 10 levels. And each level is different. And there's another podcast that I will be speaking about them separately, because every theme is very unique and very deep. And here I just wanted to concentrate on these 10 keys. So key number 1 is your subconscious, is your dark matter. Dark matter is your subconscious. Now that we have these words in psychology, subconscious, but what is subconscious? Psychology doesn't tell you that these are programs. These are just programs. Your programs at later that you develop just later in life. So first 5 6 months 7 months of your life, you don't have um, subconscious programs. They grow as you discover yourself in this reality, and it forms very quickly. These are our fears. They're very things that we reject, by morality. So even when the first punishment from your mother or from the father, for example, for me, my mother punished me when I was, I don't know, 2 years old, and I was naked and I was looking at my neighbor's pee-pee, and we were curious about it, curious about the anatomy at that age. But my mother's morality and judgment kicked in, and she reprimanded me harshly, severely for that, and that created subconscious fear that sex is not good. You know how long it took me to undo this program? And many of you get stuck in psychology, but psychology doesn't really help. It just drives you even further and further into another corner. And so what helped me to, because you can all these subconscious fears, we have like 500. I had a whole podcast on fears. There are 500 of different fears. There's social fears, there's some phobias to animals, to money, family, proximity, your health, your physical body, fear of the death, and like there are so many, and spiders. we have a different spectrum. People who experience psychological pain or broken heart, they have fear of intimacy, and that it breaks them to the rest of their life, because it forms this subconscious program, and this subconscious program is so strong, and it's so anything that we reject because it was painful, or because somebody told us this is bad, or because they told us that's bad, and then we experience pain that's even worse, and that's for sure goes into your garbage can. And that's the can, that's your subconscious can, that called dark matter. And that dark matter, these programs, they continue to work because they have their programs, their algorithms, they continue to do the work. And because they are subconscious, they are not expressed, because every algorithm has to be expressed in this materia. And so they express themselves because they're very strong, very strong. Our subconscious programs are stronger than conscious, because they're compressed. It's like compressed file. Essentially, when they run out of space, they need to explode, like a volcano, typhoon, something has to. It creates a lot of potential, a lot of this quantum wave, and that wave has to release itself and to create a form. And the form it creates is a different demons and some different fearsome creatures that people are afraid, or real animals that are here. They will put a fear on a dog, or a cat, a bird, I don't know, whatever, and then it blows up out of proportion. And so when you, for example, I had a fear of sharks, and when I went scuba diving in Bali, I actually saw the shark in real life. The shark was afraid of people. She was like hiding, and it actually was the cutest thing ever I've seen. And so but my subconscious blew it out of proportion, and especially seeing the movie Jaws or something like this, that really creates this these subconscious patterns. And so that creates the dark matter, and the dark matter has a potential energy, has energy that you reject. But if you don't reject any of that, nothing in this reality, if you don't reject the power you have a superpowers, you will have superpowers. But because we're in a matrix, and matrix wants for us to be docile and easy controllable, it's easy for the system, it's easy for the matrix. Otherwise it will blow out their algorithm and proportions if everybody wake up and everybody is know how to operate their dark matter. And the matrix would have to rewrite it, and this is where we're going towards that, because more and more people come in and more realizing that we are in a game and coming up to the same thing, the same reality, after playing different things. And so these fears become less, and they're not existent. This dark matter doesn't exist. So when it's not because I went through psychology and I spent 20 years on, I've never even been to, like, I think I've seen one psychologist, 1 or 2 sessions, and I understood this is not for me. I did different practices, and I understood that's not for me. What really worked for me to integrate the dark matter was the and that it happened one time. It happened, this release, and then in little portions, it over time. Now I'm tracing these subconscious programs, and you can only see them in interaction with different people and or crisis or situations. You cannot see them because they're still hiding. But the very big breakthrough for me, it happened when I gave myself permission that actually I am anger, I am jealousy. I understood that this is part of the one energy, love and hate. It's all the same. So when I realized that I am actually normal, I've always been normal, but the society always trying to make me abnormal and find something. You're like this, you're hysterical. And when I integrated my hysterical character, my emotions and everything else, and I allowed myself to, no, I can have sex, I can do whatever I want, consciously creating reality. But in reality I can. Why people in politics can lie and I cannot? I don't understand. Why is that? No, I can lie the same thing, because not everybody can handle the truth. So I do lie in the matrix. I do. But when I'm in the podcast and the most authentic me, it brings me a lot of joy to be truthful who I am. But allowing that I can lie, and there is no karma, no religious egregore can punish me. When you realize that, when you take these blockages out completely, because they're illusions, they're like chains that don't exist, but you constantly feel like they exist. So when I realized, I had tears, and I had this joy and cry at the same time. I collapsed on my knees because I experienced that. Oh my God, I can do anything I want. It's like when you wake up in your dream and you know you're a dreamer, you're dreaming, and you in the dream, there are no consequences. You can do whatever you want. You can jump off the things. You can run, you can fly, you can have a car accident. Nothing will happen to your body because the body is paralyzed. So it's the same thing in this matrix. You wake up and you understand that this is simulator. This is a simulator, but it does have consequences, physical reality. If you do crash a car, you can experience the pain, and sometimes the consequences are even harsher. But you understand that this morality, religious morality, spiritual morality, the matrix morality, it's fake. It's fake. It's just programs. And when you override that, it's unbelievable amount of energy gets released. And so, but you can also see what happens when a human body experiences only material, only dark matter, which is just it's a polarity. It's the other spectrum of one energy. When they only exist in dark matter, what happens? They receive money, they receive success, they receive power and things, but it doesn't last long, because it's very it's a energy that will it's not creative, it's opposite, it's destructive. So it's because it's a different spiral. It's destructive. It needs to destroy things. That's why in dark matter everything is very thick and slow and destructive. And so you have a high, but then you have to go down. And in a light you have a creation, but you don't have destruction. So when you combine the two, you can code, then you can materialize, and you can stabilize the system inside your body for your materialization in this matrix. So it's not just you destroying things, you losing money, you losing relationship, you losing health, but you also creating a different reality. But to create something, you need to destroy. To destroy something, you need to create. So do you see these two polarities, or these two sides of the same coin have to collide or alchemize inside of you? But when in esoterica, when I went into that path, there's only this light, and there's only light, and with light you cannot do anything. You need dark matter in order to materialize something here in this in this body, to sustain the physical body. And that's the reason why we here, to understand what an amazing opportunity to have this game, to hack into this game, and to understand that you're a gamer. And not only understand that you're a gamer, you can be a programmer. Fuck, there's so many opportunities, there's so much information, unlimited doors that you can enter, and you can experiment with your quantum field and release. Unlimited. You still healthy, and you still wealthy, and you're doing great, and you have a lot of energy, and you're playing the game. This is cool. So that's the two keys we talked about, is the dark matter. If you reject anything, that will create control, and that's you lose your power, and you lose your energy, and you lose your supernatural ability, and you will not do good in matrix at all. You will suffer, and there were consequences. So you have to maximize to integrate your dark matter. You jealous, you whatever, whoever you are, angry, passionate, psychotic, everything, and that's your dark matter. Bring it together and combine them to alchemize with your consciousness, your light. inside the body, not outside somewhere, but inside the body. That's alchemization, and that's an important process that nobody teaches. Mostly people teach how to escape the body with drugs, with whatever, with shamanic things, with, well, I don't know, ayahuasca, doing sauna with ketamine and mushrooms and rapé and some other shit, that cacao ceremony, and then ecstatic dance. It's all outside of the body. You need to be inside the body, but the inside the body, nobody wants to feel that. And so that's the key. That's another key, is to be inside the body, inside the physical body, not to reject, to not to have any kind of anchors or loops or kind of resistances for the energy to flow. The energy is your coding, mechanism, is your algorithm, so the energy. And so to experience a physical, to experience this reality, and to be here and to participate in the game, and to be healthy and to have money and to everything that you want to have, manifestation, you have to be in the body. I'm sorry, there is no other way. People like, oh no, I'm just gonna do some 20 sessions of whatever, and I'm gonna discover that you're not. You further and further outside of your body, and then when you meet a person and it hits your subconscious pattern and your pain, you will not do good in that relationship. You will not do good at work. You will not do good with that money, because there is pain and programs. They're gonna kick in. So you have to experience pain. And in the matrix, in the system, what they want is they want to cover your pain, is so that you don't wake up, so you don't wake up to that power, and you will always be a slave to your subconscious, and you will be spending your money into your psychiatrist and psychiatric pharmaceuticals, which is even worse, because they will definitely the pharmaceuticals is made for to make you comfortable inside the system. And it's true, it does that. We have amazing drugs, and it does that, but you fall asleep and you are in the system. But if you want to wake up, and there are crises and there are different things, you need to wake up, and you need to stop taking the pharmaceuticals if you want to wake up, because they will block your codes. And to wake up, you need to feel inside your body, and once it goes through, once you consciously feel the energy flowing and remove this block, feel the pain, the information that it's trying to give you, carry, then it will then you are operating inside your body. It's like getting inside your own car and taking over the automatic function, putting it on manual, and actually learning how to stop and go, and the speed and everything else, and look around your environment and who is your passengers, having conversation with your passengers, and interacting with the world, and taking this car somewhere that you want to go and explore the world, drive to Mexico, so these are that's automatic versus manual car ride. So you need to be in the body. If you escape, it's game over for you. You're not gonna activate your codes, and your energy gonna be drained, and you're gonna just slow die with lots of problems. That's the direction. And right now, with quantums are very, very strong quantum field, and your body will not manage the energy that will be coming. So if you have ups and downs and depression, and you don't know, and it's like this, your body is constantly like this, you need to wake up. You need to choose the direction, and then stick with that. So when clients come to me, I remind them about two blue pill or the red pill. There, that's the two choices you have. Really, it's very simple. And so yeah, and then it's your, if you choose the blue pill, and you're gonna wake up through crises. You're gonna end up at the same crossroad, and you will take the red pill next time, if you have that option in this life. So feeling the body. Fourth is self-love. Is self-love. Self-love meaning is, if you ever been with narcissists, that's like the best example. It's the best example. But it's so foreign to us to be selfish, because the program of the Matrix are created so that you are selfless. You give away your energy, you give away your realization, you give away your priceless energy, willpower, your personality, to something else, to something greater. And I've been in that loop. I've been fucked really hard in that sense by a yoga school, by esoterica, this karma yoga. Who is it serving? The guy, the guru? Yeah, he realized himself. I didn't. In 5 years, that they sold me a beautiful program that, yes, if I give, and in the end, I lost money, the relationship, and my health, and my energy, and the place to live. Like literally, that's what happened. So it was a loophole. I was so fucked. And it's really hard to get out. So your self-love is the priority, is the key to managing this life, to be able to create, to be able to self-realize, to all your wishes, anything you wish, you can do, you should do. You, by law of this avatar, your creation, you have that. You don't owe anything, anyone, nothing, nobody. It's an illusion. Once you realize yourself, and you have unlimited resources, and money, and health, and energy, then you share. It's just overflow. But not from deficit. What happened? Like me, I helped everybody from, I am in my own deficit and my own oncology. On my oncology bed with pain, I was helping patients at work. It's fucking disaster. Or taking care of my ex-husband, or taking care of somebody else, or friends, or someone you helping for free to do something. That's an algorithm of a simulator of the Matrix to keep you in that, so that you don't put any energy towards yourself at all, and you get distracted in different places. But when you self-love is just for you. It's so hard to rewrite that code, because I was also empathetic and loving and higher consciousness being that I've used in these used to be in these higher realms and these higher codes, that in the Matrix it doesn't work. That doesn't work. You're just gonna punish. They're gonna just plow over you, and you're gonna lose everything. And then in the end, nobody is gonna come to help you. Nothing. Nobody. And it's true. Nobody really cares. Even if you help them, they will forget. That's the reality in Matrix, because that's how programming works here. Don't take it personally, but take it personally to help yourself, because that is a major crime against yourself. That you helping someone, even your last money you given to someone. No, No, you need to realize that you are selfish being. You need to be selfish. You need to be called selfish. When you are being selfless and somebody calls you selfish, it's the greatest compliment. Please take it. I've yet to earn that yet, but it's coming. But in different places now, I hear that. My mom actually kind of called me selfish. So that's it, it's a compliment, meaning that I'm going in the right direction. And not only I understand that, because I feel that I have more energy and I have ability to speak right now. I didn't have ability to speak. I was in between painful cycles, oncology, and broken relationships, and with suitcases. That's how unstable my life was. So no, yes, I no, it's selfish. Selfishness is the most um, need in need, a basic need in this matrix for human body to make it, to survive, to be okay, is to be selfish. Is to be selfish, self-interest. So if it doesn't work for you, don't make obligation. Or if you did make an obligation and situation changed, you can change that and say no. And if someone struggles to accept that, then you have to work on your boundaries, on your no. That you have to kick your dark matter and say no and and protect. And if someone doesn't understand, then you shoot them. I don't know how, which way, but then there is just a kill switch. So you have to protect yourself, and it's very unnatural, very foreign, especially for souls that are incarnated or uploaded into this avatar that's been in different matrix, different realities. So self-love. It doesn't mean self-love doesn't mean like you going to have a pedicure and manicure or something. It's basic. It's a just basic care, but also basic care of your avatar. So if something is comes up, that it's even little something that should be priority than your family, than your children even. Do you understand? The self-love is much harder to grasp and much harder to practice. Very hard to practice self-love. And I will have another podcast specifically on that. But self-love doesn't mean like once in a while you have a date night with yourself. No, you self-love is like completely to the point where you just be alone. That's how far you might need to go, is to be completely alone. To send everybody different directions, and to be completely alone, and to go through that stage if that's what's needed. But who does that, right? Oh, but I have obligation, I have a job, I have this. No, because your self-realization, you have a mission different than a job here. And that's that kicks in, and forget about your job was in the matrix. So you need to be able to live anything, walk away from money, from unhealthy relationship, from anything that is remotely not aligned with you, remotely, and be able to say no. And it's interesting, the more you say no, the more people want to be back in your life. It's a strange mechanism, but it only you have to go through that stage where you say no to someone and you feel that, oh, how I'm gonna be, in this fear of how I'm gonna be without this person, how I'm gonna and that stage only lasts a few months. And then suddenly you're on a different level where you don't give a fuck who is, you're okay without any of them, really. You're still alive, and you're actually doing much more healthy and amazing, more energy. And then all these people, they come back to you, and they come back for advice. Then naturally. So it's not, it's this codependency, right? So self-love will be another topic. And key number 5 is experiencing crisis, knowing that without crisis you cannot jump into quantum fields, and you need to be able to quantum field jumping in different realities, because matrix is designed in different levels, and these are quantum jumps. And to jump from one field, from one level to another, you need to go through crisis. You have to go start from zero. Disease, any pathology, oncology, that's your zeroing mechanism. But unfortunately, people are not aware what it's for. It's done for the purpose that you jump to a next level, because on the first level you got stuck. Basically you got stuck and you need to go, but internally you understand that, but externally, physically, you are scared to shit to do the steps. And so these different programs of zeroing or canceling the program, there's a mechanism, there's a switch inside your physical body, and your so the code, so the your iOS system can re-upload and be to operate in the new reality, because our reality that we see is constantly upgrading itself. I don't know if you noticed the way we build things, the way we operate. We have new machines, we have new phones. They have to be fast, they have to be bigger, the battery life, all this. We have AIs. We need to adapt different algorithms for this matrix, and they have to update. So they have to remove some old programmings that no longer value, for example, making families. It's no longer a program that's it's a conflict. Now it doesn't work. The divorce rate, nobody get married. It's not, there is no need for that. So that's why that all these programs are kind of going away, and now we have like tantra and open relationship and gay and whatever. With animals you can have sex, anything. So it's not necessarily to have family anymore, to have children. It's not. You can biologically grow a child now if you want. You can manifest a partner, I don't know, but then they don't last, because we are constantly doing quantum jumps. So we constantly need a different partner, different situation, different our life span, and we going from cycle to cycle, 9-year cycles. And so these codes don't work anymore. So that's why the system is also upgrading, and a new software is released, and that what we experience in reality. And that's how different frequencies, and also internally we have to experience that zeroing when we are rebooted. And that's normal, and not to be like, oh my god, I got punished, it's karma, whatever. No, it's not. It's just simple algorithm kick in, and they need to stop the programs that were running before and upgrade it to a different software, so that you function in the matrix, in this computer simulator. So then there is energy. Energy is key number 6. Very important to have energy. Energy is the key. Actually, the way our body is making energy is through Krebs cycle, right? There is a carbohydrate. So it's very important for just a small amount of energy that body needs to sustain its function, and that's only through carbohydrates, the basic carbohydrates, basic sugar. I'm not talking about complicated sugars and synthetic sugars, fruit sugars, things like that, and some amino acids. Those are the two things that's the two things that the avatars are designed to make energy. We have extra energy we can get is through adrenals. It's this mechanism, adrenal gland on the, it's your backup mechanism. And we can store like coffee, for example, that gives you extra adrenaline. Doing sports, and but it's like a auxiliary power. And when people use it all the time, then they have a burnout symptoms. They can't function anymore. So you just have to know that that's the avatar. And different there are different slightly different avatars now. We also, the avatars have been upgraded, and they also receive codes and upgraded selves to match the software of the matrix. And so you also feeling sometimes migraines, and sometimes you can digest things. And now we have plastic and some toxins and different heavy metals, so the body has to adjust, and viruses and some other shit. And the avatar is also going through adjustments, different AOS upgrades. And but so there are some differences, but the majority of your energy is from carbohydrates, amino acids, and your backup generator. And that's just for the avatar. And the avatar battery life goes down significantly as for women after menopause. For men is kind of similar because of the hormones decrease. And you can tell people gaining weight, they less active, they less energy, they can remember things, because you need energy to even to operate a couple files in your head and to remember names. You need energy for that. And so it kind of shuts down system, file by file, system by system. And then at the end of your life, you look like kind of like a big baby, right? Because it's a body of an adult, but inside there is just a bare minimum that operating that this avatar, because there is no energy. So then and that's the cycle in the system. So if you're asleep and you're in the system, your battery life, you only operating on the energy of the avatar. You don't know how to kick in your consciousness, your super consciousness, which is where you came from. That's your plug. And you don't have the software hardware to plug it in to that source. Then your avatar dies essentially through disease, through the utilization. But if you've managed to plug yourself into that resource, then you can see on me, I am the result of that. And this is just the beginning, and just a slow process, because I need to experience huge widening of the body for these energies to come through. And that has to kind of, for me, has to be slow. I haven't met people that could do it instantly all at once. It's incredible energies to hold in your body. It's a voltage of dimensions. It's not 3D 220 voltage. So it's temporary, but that's the source. And I know how to connect. I have the hardware. I've discovered it, and I know the software and what works. And then with that energy, you can prolong your life of your avatar, and you can experience. And a lot of people doing these experiments, and they doing biohacking, but they are doing on the avatar. Avatar is limited. Your consciousness is unlimited, but nobody knows how to plug the consciousness and how to plug into the God. And I will have another podcast about that, because that's a whole different topic. But so that's the energy, just to give you why you don't have energy, why nothing is working at the end of your life, why you fall apart, and that's because of that. And that's the key. That's the key to your life in this simulator. Number 7 is the willpower. Willpower is the key. So what is willpower? We hear that willpower, but when you need something, when you are chased by something, when you have no other choice than death, you will experience your willpower that normally kind of in a sleepy stage and kind of like and you experience that, and what that is, and you, if you close your eyes and remember that moment, it's always there for you, but you need to train it. Just like you go and train your muscles, it's the same thing. Willpower, you have to train it. You have to train it through crisis, through pain, through something. You train it constantly. This willpower. Dark matter helps. Dark matter helps because that gives you this anger, that kind of first impulse. Because willpower is a God's particle or architect's highest code, let's say, that and it's just a spark. It's just a tiny little code that can unpack itself, because it's like very packaged, very dense, and that's why it's a spark. So you kind of have to like blowing on the embers of your heart doesn't work. People, that's such a beautiful story that sold you in your retreats and your in the Hridaya Yoga Center where I was. It doesn't work, my dear. It doesn't work. No, it's that spark is through your dark matter, and they specifically forbid you to use your dark matter, because they call it's a dark magic. She's practicing dark magic. No, that's your dark matter, and that is your power, and that is really where your willpower is. There, it's there in your fucking basement. That's your willpower, and it kicks in when you angry. Okay, you get it? That's the willpower. That's the they gave you forbidding code not to go there, not to use it, because with the willpower you can destroy the illusions and create a new reality, and you can function in this matrix. But without willpower, you can't do anything. You can't defend yourself. You'll be a little worm on a plate that somebody just one day get rid of you. You have nothing. You can't walk away from the plate. You can't find food. It's too far away. You don't have any friends, worms, to play with. And you have a short lifespan, and you are asleep, and you're just a worm on the plate. You don't know who the fuck you came from. Without willpower, my dear. And that's not taught in any religion, and that's not taught in any esoteric. And in fact, in esoteric, they will block that and call it a witchcraft or something like this. Morally, they will put a block in there, so you don't get to your willpower. Never experience your willpower. You watch all these movies with Power Rangers and all this Catwoman and Spider-Man. They have willpower. How did they get there? Watch the movies. In the dark matter, do they follow the rules of the Matrix? No. They are outside of the rules of the Matrix. They use in their dark powers, dark matter. That's how they become superheroes. They're giving you all the information, guys, but then your programs are just overriding that. So that's a willpower. Without willpower, that's the key. That's the key in this matrix. Number 8 is critical thinking. Critical thinking or conscious focused manifestation. Critical thinking is ability, so it's not a magical thinking, it's not a spiritual thinking, it's not like, oh, it's unicorns and beautiful rainbows and love and open heart. No, my dear, no. No. I can't talk to people like this. They're so far outside of reality. They in the magical land, in the psychosis, in the schizophrenia. People writing me comments. It's crazy where people are, actually, in their own schizophrenic worlds, and they're not here. They're not playing the game, so they don't have any materialization. They have horrible life in reality, in this matrix, but they're like, yeah, but yes, I'm so magical, I'm talking to the trees. Cool. Do you have relationship? Do you have money? Can you build stuff? Can you manifest? Oh, you have migraines and oncology. Congratulations. And your teeth are falling apart and you're losing hair. Okay. But are you talking to the trees? Critical thinking. Critical thinking is focused energy, your willpower, focused, your dark matter, light matter, everything, focused energy into something. I decided to do 160 podcasts so that I can realize myself, so I can speak my truth, so that I can do public speaking, so I can build value, so I can make money, so I can be also happy and healthy, because I'm doing it for me and it's fun for me, and I'm learning, and as I'm learning, I'm just sharing, and I make money. I build my health, and I support my avatar through that, and my whole world. I'm in the matrix and playing the game. Do you see how cool that is? But it's focused. I have to do 160 podcasts. This is what I decided. And it's very every day. I'm doing it every day. And I'm discovering different problems on the way. And every day there is something. Instagram doesn't work. I don't have internet, my phone. YouTube decided to change some parameters. Now this format, it's every day. But I'm focused. It has to be every day at 11 a.m. 160 podcasts. That's it. And I know that focused materialization will bring me huge results, huge manifestation, because that's programming, because I understand what programming is. So critical thinking is also saying, okay, wait a minute. If I, for 20 years, I've been on these pills and I still have thyroid issue. Wait a minute. That's critical thinking. That's like, so that means they are not helping? What the fuck? 20 years, they sold me an illusion that they will help. But in 20 years, they're not helping. And in fact, I mean, even worse. That's critical thinking. And then you take it further and you're like, okay, what are the side effects of these pills? How do they work? And how can I fix the problem that I have at different ways? And try it. That's another critical thinking. And try it. And then experience that and make a conclusion saying, you know what? This doesn't work. This works, but halfway. Okay, I'm going to experience something else. And I'm going to do combination of things. That's critical thinking, guys. That's critical thinking. To even question some of your reality. Why am I living with a person that's doing this? Hold on a minute. Wait a minute. Why am I responding to conflict the same way? Wait a minute. Do you understand? That's critical thinking, not magical thinking. I'm gonna have manifest a little. The fuck. I'm sharing with you because I've gone through all this and I still have many things. It's not an end project, no. But I am giving you keys that I for the last 49 years, I've lived through it and experienced, and I've gone through many doors, and I've gone through critical thinking, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I found myself in that door again, and I'm like, okay. So these are the keys. These are shortcuts in the matrix. And number nine is you need to know the laws. The way, so there is a law of this matrix. There are laws. Manifestation. It's an algorithm. How do we program things? It's programming. Everything is programmed. Even my water is programmed. Is a program. So how does it work? There's a word, some kind of, right? A key word that you repeat over and over, which is you just doing it with your energy, with your emotions, even faster. You know that. So there's energy. So how much energy you've invested? Maybe you're just like, I want a new life. But if you say, I want a new life, fuck, bam, you know, and you're like, wow. And then there's action. So you do something physically. I have to speak physically. I can't just say I want to be a public speaker, and that's all I'm gonna do. No words and repeat that. No, it's not gonna work. I need to say I want to be a public speaker. That's exciting for me, and it's truly exciting. There's emotion, but then I have to do it. I have to come out on YouTube, other platforms, and learn how to hold my energy first. Right now I'm speaking to nobody, but then there are comments, and then will be a real auditorium when I have to engage myself, and I have to feel the energies and handle them through my body on the public stage. So that's the physical actions, and then you have the result. So that's it's simple as that. If you want a new boyfriend, you have to first you have to have a thought. Then you have to put energy into this, right? You imagine what this person is gonna give you feeling, or what is gonna do, or something, right? The manifestation, you have to imagine that person, and then energetically think about it, and then you have to do something about it. You have to either travel if you want a sporty person. If you want computer genius, you go online and you participate in some kind of, or if you want a married person with with children, then then you in that society. If you want a drinking buddy, you go to a bar. If you want athlete, you go into that club, or whatever you feel that's for you, right? If I want someone to connect on my level, I need to speak the truth, and that's what for me. It's the best thing is to be who I am, because I don't want to attract anyone with my mask. So I'd rather be who I am, and that person has to absolutely like me the way I am, and then that's the best match. How he's gonna find me, I don't know. I'm just gonna talk publicly, and then it will appear. I don't know, but I have to appear authentically. I have to declare authentically on the social media or somewhere, to declare who I am and what I'm talking about, and what the fuck what I'm doing. And that person has to hear and understand, and that kind of vibrates on the same, and then and then that's it. Or in the same publicly speaking, I'll be in the same kind of place where I am myself. And that's it. And then we have rules. We have a law of universes. Now those are different laws, and you hear them in esoterica, and these are coming from different matrices, different civilizations, different matrices, the design that do not work necessarily in this matrix. Okay, and I've also understood that. And so but there are universal laws. There are universal laws that also work here, and I speak about them. And so you need to know the laws, how they work. So here in Matrix, basic law is programming, the way programming and manifestation in the physical reality works. For the universal laws, and they work for your consciousness, for your super consciousness. When you integrate that, and when you wake up from the matrix, when you integrate your consciousness, then there are different laws, because you outside of the matrix, but you still inside a different matrix when you awake, and you need to know the laws of that universe and how that works, and the different rules and different level stages of this universe and this matrix, sorry, of this life, and how they work. You need to know. That's a huge topic for each law, and I will be talking about that. And then number 10, the last one, is your ability to play the game. You are in the matrix and you need to stay in the game. There is no things like escaping the matrix. Guys, that's, you are out already. Even if you're thinking there about this, escaping the matrix, even the word, that means death. You are not playing the game, and the consequences are destruction of your avatar and your health, and your whole world is destruction, and you will have a new upload and you will have to go through again. It's not the escaping mechanism, and through drugs, through numbing something, through not hearing, through rejecting reality, through avoiding conflicts, through taking pain pills for your problems, for your health, being in ecstasy, some ecstatically going out of your body all the time. That's not, or having the, it's for guys, I see that a lot, is to have they have this huge intellect, their energy gets stuck in their head, they overthink, and they become so ego is building this egoic simulator in their intellect that cannot allow the energy to flow through the body. And so they have they need to have more information, and they go psychotic. They go outside, because it's impossible to hold that much information in the head. It's supposed to flow. But there is, they're outside of the body. They received the trauma when they're child, and that's it. They block that. It can only operate here, and that's limited. You blow your brains out, literally. You blow your brains out. It's like mental masturbation to a point. And now we have so much information on YouTube and TikTok and whatever, and that is what creates the problem. For guys, I really see that for you. You need to be able to run that energy through your body and allow and go through pain, feeling the pain, but not escaping the matrix. Escaping the matrix, you're dead. Your program of utilization will kick in. You lose your avatar. Game is over. When you play a game, what happens when somebody kills you? What happens? A wall crushes you. The avatar dies. You're out of the game. You have to start over. No? And especially if you on the last level or eighth level, where there's a lot of tension, and then you get killed there. And there are every level there are traps, and there are more incredible traps. And I am on level 8, I'm on eighth level. They're 10th. I'm on level 8. But I go back all the way to 1 sometimes. That's how hard. Sometimes you don't, the same lesson in a different format, different name, different scenario, and you like, fuck again. But you get up quickly, but you can lose your avatar very quickly, and I've came to that twice already, through esoteric knowledge that really nearly killed me. Even it's a beautiful trap. It's a beautiful trap where you can lose. And some clients come to me on that stage, on this where they escape the matrix through the drugs, and they do ketamine journeys, and they come to me with migraines and with oncology. You lose avatar, guys. Escaping the matrix is another trap. And all the knowledge about light and some reincarnation is just a bunch of bullshit. It really is, because you haven't gone through all 10 level and you sustain your avatar, because on the 10th level you receive all the information, and that is not, I've gone through, I understand, I know, I've gone through, I've lived through, so I know the truth. Escaping matrix, as soon as I hear that, I'm like, schizophrenic, done. He's not gonna come out. You know the amount of energy that you would need to override that escape program, and nobody will be able to help you. Nobody. In this shamanic trance, people do some things. That's why there are people, sometimes they do cocaine and some hard drugs, they never come back. You need a strong consciousness. You need strong willpower, energy, all these things, and dark matter, and self-love and selfishness, and anchors, some kind of anchors in your body, and not to have fears. There's lots of willpower, critical thinking. If you don't have anything, the game is over. And there are traps on many levels, and I'm gonna speak about how to play the game and the levels on my next podcast, because it's a whole new topic, but for now I'm gonna finish with that. So just really quickly to summarize 10 keys in playing game in the matrix, and to succeed playing the game in the matrix in different levels, and to be healthy, and to have money, and to have a relationship, and to have manifestation. These are 10 keys, guys. Number 1 is, what did I say, is dark matter, your subconscious, alchemy of both consciousness and subconsciousness, self-love, being in the body, in your avatar, completely know all the functions of your avatar and completely take over control. Be responsible, not a child, not a victim, full control. Not saying, oh well, but my mom didn't do that. No, none of that. Then number 5 is ability to experience zero or crisis, which is important for quantum jumps, or jumps in the levels of this game. Number 6 is energy, and energy is not just the avatar energy, is energy from the source. Number 7 is a willpower. Number 8 is critical thinking, or conscious thinking, or focused manifestation. Number 9 is the knowing the laws of the matrix and laws of the universe, how we operate. If you don't know the laws, you can't function. And number 10 is playing the game, staying in the game, not escaping, playing the game. Have fun with that. Have fun discovering things, but not being stuck in the role of a victim. being a programmer, being an architect, taking control. It's fun. Guys, it's fun. It's really fun. It's really fun. I tell you, I've been in misery and oncology and relationship and fallen down my fucking face and standing on the edge of suicide and pain for 20 years that nobody could help me with, and it was getting worse and worse and worse. So I know that. I know. I've played the game, and I'm giving you these 10 keys. Please, this is like the most wisdom you're gonna get. It's the most valuable things you're gonna get for free. So enjoy. I'll see you for the next podcast. Bye, guys.